Brought to you by Blackmagic Design, the world's highest quality products for the feature film, post and broadcast industries. Blackmagicdesign.com. And by the Tonkawa Film Festival, celebrating short films from around the world. Tonkawafilmfestival.com. And by Dehancer. Use the promo code RABBIT to receive 10% off Dehancer products. Dehancer.com.
It's by Vera Miao. I am pronouncing that correctly. I was like, that was a pleasant surprise. I'm like, I'm sorry, did you say meow? Vera Miao directed this piece, and it's about generational trauma, but it's also about a historical event that I didn't know about. In fact, she didn't know about until she started like doing some research into this film. It takes place in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and in 1885 there was a settlement of Chinese immigrant or Asian American immigrants, mostly Chinese, who were working as miners, and that's people who mine ore out of the earth.
Not young people.
Correct.
Right.
And there was an uprising of the local displaced white workers who came in and just murdered everyone and ran them into the woods, and it's horrifying. I think they said something about like there was a settlement of maybe 1,000 migrant workers that was decimated. God.
Wow.
So she tells this story in 3 acts, and the first act focuses on a family that is a mother played by Kelly Marie Tran and her daughter. She recently lost her husband, and they moved out to this house that they just, I guess, was in the family or something. And she's trying to, start from scratch and move on from this tragedy. And it's about how the 3 generations deal with grief. But there's a disconnect in the family because Kelly Marie Tran's character is a Korean immigrant who married a Chinese first-generation immigrant. His mother only speaks Mandarin, and her character doesn't speak Mandarin, so she doesn't understand the mother. The daughter understands a little bit of both because she was raised with, in the household with the generations. So there's this disconnect in the house. There's this disconnect in their lives. And then they move into this community in Rock Springs, and there's a disconnect there. You can tell they don't know quite how to handle Asian Americans. The town sort of treats them with kid gloves because they know the dark secret. Everyone who lives there knows what happened. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to bring it up, And then the second piece takes place in 1885, and it follows some of those immigrants. So it's Jimmy O. Yang, who is a stand-up comic and occasional actor. I've never seen him do a role this dramatic. And that's done entirely in Mandarin and Cantonese.
Oh.
Benedict Wong is in it as well. And again, they all speak Mandarin and Cantonese in their scenes. And I saw the Q&A afterwards, and I did not know Benedict Wong was British.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so
yes.
He starts talking. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you never hear him speak with his his native accent.
Yeah, but it captures their bonding and their longing for their homeland. And they're talking about saving money and sending it back to their families. And Benedict Wong plays they call him Uncle because he's like older and wiser and he's been there longer. And they always talk about going home, and he's like, "You're never going home." He's like, "Look at the sky and pretend you're somewhere else. That's how I get through." Fate laughs at man's plans. And like he drops all this wisdom, and then they get attacked and they run into the woods, and it's just harrowing and just horrifying.
Well, it sounds like a laugh riot.
Yes. Well, then you get to the third act, and there's a monster in the movie also. Now,
Wait, like a metaphorical monster?
a literal monster.
Oh, okay.
So like I read it as, I think the log line says, "And a secret lurks in the woods." Well, there's an actual monster, and it is a bag of flesh that holds the souls and anger of many generations of men who had been abandoned in that forest.
When you say a bag of flesh?
Picture a bag of flesh with too many eyes and several mouths. Like it's, yeah.
Lovecraftian nightmare fuel.
Like,
yeah.
and I like, because a lot of times in films like these, they'll get so hung on the message that they'll forget they're making a scary movie and they'll phone in the monster.
Yeah, because
it be wind.
It doesn't sound like a horror movie. It sounds like a historical drama.
Right. there's a monster. There's a bag of flesh.
Okay.
I
mean,
and
is
it's
that
great, and it's really like it looks practical, and it's terrifying.
But doesn't that give you like some like drastic tonal whiplash at some point? Like
Not really, because the monster is the brutality of man. So when you see, when you see Act 1, you already feel a little unease because of dealing with loss. Like Kelly Marie Tran's character is actually haunted by her husband. Like he's an entity in the room.
Oh, okay.
So there's already some haunting, and then you see.
So you have supernatural elements and things like that.
Then you see the
I gotcha.
brutality of the second act. So when you're seeing the monster in the third act, it kind of fits. It's a physical manifestation of generations of rage and abandonment. It's really about passing on without love, without the proper send off from your loved ones.
Okay. I mean, it sounds really interesting. I mean, I haven't seen a movie like that. Like, I don't feel like, I mean, especially, Yasin and I talk about horror movies all the time on the show, and a lot of them feel like plug and play. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to hit these beats and it's this trope and stuff like that. That doesn't feel at all like that. It feels like it's very different.
I do remember while watching the film, and especially I think when the monster first appeared, I was like, Jason would hate this movie. Glad I'm watching.
I probably would have been into the first couple of acts,
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to talk about a movie briefly here because we haven't talked about any documentaries yet.
This is the BTRP Media Network.